It's happening in 2 days. House lawmakers are scheduled to vote on that bill that would, in essence, ban TikTok on Wednesday. And don't get it twisted. This bipartisan bill, called the Protecting Americans from Foreign Adversary Controlled Applications Act, is on the fast track, and it has a lot of support from both Democrats and Republicans in the House. Now, before I get into the timing and whether this bill actually has a chance of passing, I want to mention that lawmakers are clearly hearing from those of you who do not want this bill to pass. Their phone lines have reportedly been ringing off the hook with your calls, and apparently lawmakers aren't very happy about it. In fact, today they sent this letter to TikTok CEO saying the pop-up that appeared for some TikTok users about this bill, which encouraged TikTokers to enter their zip code to find their lawmaker and contact them, was a, quote, campaign to manipulate and mobilize American citizens on behalf of the Chinese Communist Party. The letter goes on to say, using your platform to deceive the American people about bipartisan U.S. legislation underscores the clear necessity of the bill currently under consideration. TikTok fired back, saying it's shameful members of Congress would complain about hearing from their own constituents. We will continue educating the 170 million Americans who love TikTok about what's happening. Now, for the record, constituents can always find out who their House lawmakers are and all their contact information by going to Find My Representative on house.gov, which is the House's official government website, and then entering their zip code, and their lawmakers and all their information pops up. Basically, it's the exact same system that TikTok pushed, just in the app. Now, back to this bill and whether it can pass. Today, as a sign of confidence, the House Majority Leader Steve Scalise announced the Republican leadership is going to use special procedures to get this bill to the floor for a vote on Wednesday. If the Republican leadership moves forward with this special procedure, it would require a 2/3 majority of the House members to vote yes in order for this bill to pass. Now, usually bills like this take much longer to get to the House floor, and 2/3 majority is a heavy lift, and it's usually only reserved for non-controversial bills. So the fact that they're using this procedure to fast track this bill, which is clearly controversial, shows that they're confident they can get 2/3 majority to say yes. Now, even if this bill does pass the House, it will still have to pass the Senate, which means it needs 60 votes. There is definitely bipartisan support for this bill in that chamber too, but there are also some senators who are kind of skeptical, and they're suggesting that they may want to make some changes to the bill before they agree to it. There is no timing for any of that to happen just yet. I also want to lastly make it very clear, this short 12-page bill doesn't actually use the word ban in it, but what it does is specifically force ByteDance, the Chinese-owned parent company of TikTok, within 5 months of this bill passing, to divest or sell its interest in TikTok to another company the U.S. government says is not controlled by a foreign adversary.